Hey, I'm Rob Adler, and welcome to Understanding Upstate, the podcast dedicated to exploring what makes upstate New York such a unique place. Each week, my co-host Jim Search and I dive into a new upstate topic to better understand what's up upstate. And this week, we are taking a bite out of the iconic upstate staple, the salted potato. I almost said take a bite out of crime.
Man.
That's how how trained I was as a young kid of the Dare era.
McGruff would have been very pleased at your fight of crime.
It's
I would
true.
say.
It's true. I mean, you know, in many ways, from what I've learned, salt potatoes sound pretty addictive. So. Oh
man, yeah, like we were talking about this before we got on, but like I had like. As an upstate New Yorker through and through, like you're not getting out of upstate New York without at least one salted potato in your life. And
sure.
Yeah, I mean they are. It's like it is a staple. Like you're seeing it at every county fair. You're seeing it at barbecues. You're seeing it on the 4th of July. You're seeing it in the summertime in full effect for sure.
Mm-hmm. I have one quick question.
Sure.
One point of clarification, if I will.
Yeah.
Everything I've read has said salt potato, but I notice every time you write it, you write salted potato.
Yeah.
Is there a Binghamton regional difference in what we're calling this salty potato dish, or what? I just want to get it clear.
That's fair. As far as I see and from where I'm sitting, I feel like they're pretty interchangeable. Like if you went into a eatery in upstate New York, and you said
say like a Sharky's.
Say for example,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the icon Sharky's. If you went in there and you said, let me get an order of salted potatoes, they're going to know what you're talking about.
Sure.
I think they're pretty
interchangeable.
Pretty interchangeable, to say the least.
Got it. All right. Well, you know what's not interchangeable?
What's that?
Your subscriptions, your ratings, and your reviews. We need all of them. We can't exchange. No exchanges. We need all of these things to happen. This is a terrible metaphor and transition, but I'm running with it. Speedy Freaks, Rattlesnake Pete's, please subscribe, rate, and review the show. Share an episode with a friend. Anyone that you would bring some freshly boiled salted potatoes to, you can also just send them an episode. A lot less effort just to text a link to one of these episodes. So do that, and that will help us. That will help us out a lot. Yeah,
immensely,
a ton. Speaking of immense things, I have an upstate update.
Yes.
Are you ready, Jim?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
Upstate update, baby. So I think it was last episode I was talking about the Sirling Fest 2024.
Yes.
The likelihood that it had already happened. However, it hasn't happened yet. So I'm just throwing out just an update on where Sirling Fest 2024 stands. I think in previous years it had been in August's past, but this year it is running from September 13th to the 15th, 3 whole days of Sirling Fest. The advertisement is actually done in a style that you might recognize. It's a BC comic. It's like a Johnny Hart style. Little cartoon of the like caveman looking at a gravestone. It's a little morbid.
Jeez.
It's with his famous quote about Binghamton inscribed upon it. Everyone has to have a hometown. Binghamton is mine.
That's right.
If you can recall. But yeah, so that is to say, get your tickets. Get your bus tickets, get your Sirling Fest tickets, and get on over to Binghamton and let us know how it is, because I, unfortunately, will not be able to be there for it. I don't know if you have plans, Jim, to attend Sirling Fest.
Well,
and it's the 100th. It'll be the 100th anniversary of Rod Serling. Sorry, it'll be the 100th birthday of Rod Serling, and I believe they're unveiling his, as we mentioned, his his statue, which they've been trying to create for like years.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the now the conundrum I face is I was gonna do like a get together for my birthday that weekend because my birthday is like on Labor Day, which like look, people like me, but they like Labor Day more than they like me, which
Sure.
I get that. I'm not above the last foray of summer. I know where I stand. So that said, it's like putting together a birthday celebration is usually further down the line in September, and it was going to be that weekend. Now, I'm also, here's the thing, is I'm also going to be up in Binghamton that following weekend for the Crooked Mouth Comedy Festival. So could 2 visits to Binghamton back to back be in my future? Possibly. There may be a pushing my birthday celebration towards the end of the month. I don't know. This is this opens a lot of doors right now because it is pretty iconic that he's turning 100 this year, and they're going to unveil the statue. So I might pull up.
His daughter's going to be there introducing a couple episodes with the original commercials.
Oh,
I love an original commercial.
How much are the tickets?
That's a great question. Let's see. I'm looking at the schedule right now. It's jam packed. I don't actually know if the statue is finished. It's not on the itinerary.
Interesting. And it's a 3-day event.
It's 3 days, but Friday starts at like 6 p.m. So it's like I think the big events, Friday is a Rod Serling video marathon Friday night. Then we got panels and presentations all day, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday. And then Sunday, oh no, there it is, the Rod Serling statue dedication, 12 noon, Sunday, September 15th. Join us at Recreation Park, open to the public. So you don't need tickets for that. That might be the event to go to. If you're thinking of staying at the DoubleTree, no dice.
Oh,
don't do it.
Sold out.
The Serling Fest block of specially priced rooms is sold out, but the Quality Inn and Suites, Binghamton Vestal, you can find a reasonably priced room there still.
Gotcha.
But tickets, back to your original question, we're looking at $35 for 2 days of events.
Word?
Which is just the Friday, Saturday. I think Sunday, it's just the statue unveiling. $20 if you just want to go to one day.
Yo, I really might pull up for this, man.
Please do.
I think I might. I might do it. I mean, I'll be going back to back. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do this. I mean,
hell yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be able to do like I'll do my birthday at the end of the month.
There you go.
It's still within September, so
there we go. Love it.
Yeah, we're doing this.
I mean, that sounds like we've got a future Upstate update booked.
Oh my God, do we ever? I gotta see if I can get some press. Let's see if we can get some press credentials.
Yeah, dude. There's Rod Serling Twilight Zone podcasters on the schedule. Like, I think we can get you hooked up, especially if you're like, hey, I'm headlining
the next
Comedy
weekend.
Fest.
Yeah,
next weekend. Like, you're a man about town.
I think. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to these folks and be like, hey, listen, like, we do the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, a comedian. I grew up here. Like, he's a huge inspiration. Yeah, we're gonna get the ball rolling on this.
Here's the wild thing. This website is one of those. It's an older design. It's got the view count. 41 views today. 41 people
just today
have checked out just today. This is a hot ticket item, man. This is. I think I'm excited that you're gonna go. I'm really bummed. I will be traveling those days myself, so it's not in the cards for me. But I'm delighted that we will have an understated understanding. I can't remember the name of her own podcast. Understanding Upstate representative on the scene.
Yeah.
This is breaking news. This isn't just an Upstate update. This is breaking news.
Yeah, if this were a video podcast, we could do like the breaking news, like across the screen type shit.
That's true.
But yeah. I mean, like, what am I talking? Like, look, it's an experience. It's 100 years. He's turning 100. Like, yeah, the other event I could do, I could push back, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like, have to buy fucking 2 round trip bus tickets. I'm just like, fuck.
Hey, Jim, it's for a podcast that currently generates no money, but it's an investment. That sounds like a business write-off to me. I'm no accountant.
Yeah.
I'm no accountant. But...
And also, I mean, even like in addition to that, too, like, look, I'm a huge fan of him. Like, this is pretty dope, man. Like, I was at his house. This summer. I was hanging at Rod Serling's house where he grew up.
Hell yeah.
Which, was pretty surreal. I mean, I saw the portrait. His original picture is still in the house. My friend's house. Who I will not divulge all that information. You go look that up on your own to protect.
That's behind the paywall.
Yeah,
we'll put that up on our Patreon when we get that going. Don't worry. Don't worry.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, fuck that. I'm doing it. Maybe.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Well, I am now sufficiently excited. I was already excited for salt potatoes, but now I'm riding this Rod Serling wave. Jim, are you ready to get salty?
Oh, I'm from Binghamton, New York. I was born salty. Listen, there is a lot of salt and disdain in my bloodline. I'll tell you that.
Well, let's do it. All right, so salted potatoes. The Syracuse area of New York has a long history of salt production, which I didn't know until we started reading about this. Brine from salt springs located around Onondaga Lake was used to create consumable salt that was distributed throughout the Northeast via none other than the Erie Canal, baby. Salinated brine was boiled dry in large vats known as salt blocks, and the salt residue was then scraped up, ground, and packaged. So just some quick origins of the salt industry, because this really plays a kind of heavy role in salt potato origins, as we'll learn. So basically, Europeans began to learn about salt springs in the area in 1654 when the Onondagas revealed their presence to French explorers.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Not a good look, guys.
Nope. Jesuit missionaries visiting the Syracuse region in the same period were the first to report on salty brine springs around the southern end of what they called Salt Lake, known today as Onondaga Lake. The brine springs were reported to have extended around much of the lake for a distance of nearly 9 miles. That is a lot of salt.
That's a lot.
They extended from the present-day towns of Salina through Geddes and from Liverpool to near the mouth of 9 Mile Creek. European settlers, mostly trappers and traders, followed the Jesuit missionaries and French explorers into the Syracuse area during the 17th and 18th centuries. Much like, sounds like how cockroaches operate.
Correct.
And after the French and Indian War, British traders replaced the French, but encounters were limited. British-American colonists began salt production in the area in the 18th century. Following the victory of the United States in the American Revolutionary War, it made the Treaty of Fort Stanwix in 1788 and with supposed Haudenosaunee negotiators who were unauthorized by the nations, which that was a, literally it's called the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and it was a group of a lot of different tribes, like the Mohawks, I think the Senecas. And so among its provisions was a transfer of the lands around the lake from the Onondaga Nation to local salt producers on the condition that the salt would be produced for the common use of everyone.
I don't know if that's how that's going to go.
Probably not. By 1822, due to a high incidence of malaria, the lake's water level was lowered after its outlet to the Seneca was dredged. I assume to like slow, a mosquito population. Sounds like.
I guess that would make sense, right? Like,
yeah,
because they live in still water, or they thrive in still water.
Yep. The low-lying swampy area located in what is now the northern end of downtown Syracuse was drained. Downtown Syracuse built on a swamp. Who knew? The completion of the Erie Canal through New York State in the mid-1820s and the commercial production of salt brought an increase in settlement of the area. The lake's western shore became increasingly industrialized as the 19th century progressed. And then I was able to find a little bit more on just kind of the development of that salt industry from an article in The Atlantic about specifically salt potatoes, which was called A Historic Potato Recipe, Don't Hold the Salt, from August of 2010. And basically, here's a quote. Thinking of inefficient uses for natural resources, they apparently burned hundreds of cords of wood a day to fuel the flames that boiled salt brine that came up from underground springs in order to make stocks of salt. By 1820 or so much hardwood had been burned that the companies switched to coal and used about 12 tons a day.
Jeez.
That provided a relatively short-term fix. As you can imagine, the cost of coal was so high that salt from the area gradually became way too expensive to be viable, and the salt works were closed in 1926. So yeah, you're just running out of natural resources, and eventually the price of salt isn't high enough to justify all the resources you're literally burning.
Make sure the juice is worth the squeeze, as they say.
Indeed. This kind of transitions us back to salt potatoes. So the origin of salt potatoes can be traced to none other than 19th century Syracuse, New York, where Irish immigrants who were primarily the people working in the salt mines prepared the dish by boiling the potatoes in the salt blocks for their lunch break. It's kind of, again, like it's this kind of folk story of how salt potatoes came to be, where like these big giant vats were boiling 24/7. I imagine they weren't probably given lunch breaks or
they were not
probably not poor working conditions. So like, well, let's throw some goddamn potatoes in these vats, and just that's kind of how salt potatoes came to be. Throughout the Onondaga Lake region, miners would boil small, unpeeled potatoes in salted brine mined from salt springs. During that time, Syracuse was known as the Salt City, at one point providing almost 90% of the country's supply of salt, cranking out 2 million bushels of salt annually.
That's a crazy number to think about, of like the amount of salt coming from little old Syracuse, New York. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, again, like we've talked about this before, but the sheer amount of early industry in the United States that started or came from upstate New York it's surprising, right? Like all these not even like cottage industries, like 90% of the country's salt came from here at one point. Like
we are 10% away from all.
Yeah,
from everything.
Indeed. So in the cooking process, the salty water forms a crust on the potato skin and seals it, which helps to prevent salt potatoes from tasting waterlogged, as ordinary boiled potatoes sometimes do. That is a savage takedown of ordinary boiled potatoes. Which
fun story, my ex and I were in Binghamton years ago, And they we went to a restaurant, and there was like salt potatoes on the menu. And she was like, "So are these just like potatoes?" And
sure.
And we were like, no. This is very different than just like regular boiled ass potatoes. And now here's the science behind why they're good, right? Is that the salt creates a seal.
Let's see. So, and because of that seal, the salt potatoes kind of have a unique texture similar to a baked potato, which is interesting.
Delicious.
Most days I want potatoes. I'll say that's my baseline. I really want potatoes now.
Yeah, and you throw a little butter on there. Woo.
Oh, Jesus. Man. Whew. Well, the earliest written record of salt potatoes being served outside of the salt works is in an 1883 menu from a saloon run by the Keefe brothers, who were the sons of a salt manufacturer. They quickly became popular in other taverns and bars, where they started being served with melted butter. And in fact, from that Atlantic article that we quoted from a little bit earlier, that I've discovered that they published an article that they found from the 1800s talking about the Keefe brothers, which, Jim, I think you're gonna share with us.
We're gonna get into it. Let's get to it. And from that article in the Atlantic, a historic article that they found about the Keefe brothers from the Syracuse Sunday Herald over a century ago. Of all the Bohemian resorts in the city, there is but one that is distinctly a product of Syracuse, which is strong wording. For 16 years, it had flourished in Wolf Street, and the brothers Keefe, who are its proprietors, are almost as well known throughout the country as was Nick Enzel of New York and his famous beefsteak.
Hold the phone. Are you familiar with Nick Enzel and his famous beefsteak, Jim?
Am I personally?
Yeah.
No.
I think we got to do some research and see what this beefsteak's all about. I'm just putting a pin in that for a future episode, if it's in fact from upstate New York.
Yeah.
If it's downstate, forget it.
Yeah, we're not. We don't do that here. The salt potatoes of Syracuse rank with the baked beans of Boston, love it. The terrapin of Baltimore, love it. The scrapple of Philadelphia, and the frankfurters of Milwaukee. Damn. They were born with the salt industry of the city, in the immense iron kettles in which the brine was slowly boiled into salt. The urchins of the first ward prepared feasts for a king. A few potatoes, a few ears of corn across to a salt kettle, and a little patience were the only requirements. Damn. Mm-hmm. The corn and potatoes were dropped into the kettle. A wait of a half hour would be a rich reward for the youthful epicures. Potatoes, mealy and bursting through their skin, with the salt clinging to them in particles that shone like miniature diamonds, tickled the palate in a meal that could not be despised. That is some real Shakespeare about some great fucking food. I'm here for this author 1000%. The Keefe brothers, in their younger days, boiled potatoes in the old salt kettles. When they were older and added a barroom to the queer little old grocery shop of which they were proprietors, they bethought themselves of the salt potatoes of their boyhood, and the salt potatoes formed the entire bill of fare of the lunch, which they served with the foaming beer.
Jesus Christ, that sounds great.
I'm here to say, as a man who once taught, in this article, I have to, my integrity won't allow me to go any further, but that is a very long sentence. That could have been 2, potentially 3. But I digress. Salt potatoes were popular with the public. I can attest to that. And a Syracusean who entertains a stranger without giving him a chance at the delicious delicacy is lacking in some of the fine points of hospitality. You fucking heathen. If you ain't if you're not offering any potatoes up when people come through, then that reflects on you.
Yeah.
The saloon where they are served isn't much in the way of a luxurious drinking place. A plain little bar takes up one side of the room, whose sawdust floor leads through the door into a room beyond, where a table placed among the kegs and barrels of liqueurs make up for the furnishings of the cafe. Man, what a journey. Now, the dish gained popularity when it was introduced in 1904 as part of the popular clam bakes served at the Hinderwaddles Grove in North Syracuse. And Hinderwaddles began selling salt potato kits in local stores in 1981 and are fucking paid. I can't imagine you're not. In 2021, as we jump forward to more modern times, a historical marker was erected outside of the Onondaga County Salt Museum commemorating the dish. We have a little marker sign here, which reads, "Salt potatoes, popularized by salt industry workers, potatoes boiled in brine and paired with melted butter, served in local taverns and eateries as early as 1883. Now, you gotta, that is, and I think those are succinct and concise words to describe such a delicious delicacy.
Mm-hmm. I'm pulling over for that road sign.
Yeah,
100%.
You have
100%.
to. When in Rome, and not Rome, New York. In the decades following their inception, salt potatoes became a regional dish of central New York, and in more recent years, they are typically served in the summer when young potatoes are first harvested. That is how I know that. Salt potatoes are currently a staple food at fairs and barbecues throughout the central New York region, and I would argue even Broome County. Now, Speedy Freaks, Rattlesnake Pete's, and Salted Potato folks, check this out.
Salted Potato folks, I love it.
Check this out. You've been sitting here the whole time, and you're like, how on earth do I make this? What is the process? How do I do it? Well, you know what? I'm going to share that with you. Salt potatoes are bite-sized. We'll put those young. They're the little potatoes. White potatoes scrubbed and boiled in their skins. The size of potatoes popularized by Hinderwaddles is size B, grade US number 2. Now,
and the one thing, I added one thing into here, because I would see young/new potatoes, and new potatoes is like, what the fuck is a new potato other than just a brand new potato?
Sure.
That's exactly what it is. It's
fresh off the lot.
If you buy new potatoes, so this is from thespruceeats.com. They are not a variety per se. Any potato that is harvested early in the season can be called a new one, which usually means they're going to be eaten in warmer weather. So I think this is like around summertime, early summer, when there are a lot of county fairs, right? So they're basically dug up before they get bigger, and they have delicate, thin skins, high moisture content, and a sweet flavor. And they're lower in starch, which kind of helps with the cooking.
There you go. And again, 5 stars, no notes. You get a hold of one of these, you're not going to eat one. I'll tell you that. Now, according to the recipe in the New York Times, which I have to say, I don't want to say a beef necessarily with the New York Times kitchen section when they list recipes, but they put up one for Speedies a while ago, and a friend of mine sent me a link to it, and like they listed the ingredients of Speedy marinade, which like one could make, like, you know, if you have the list, you could look at the back of a bottle, you can make it yourself. I am a purist in the sense of Lupos and Salamitas is where my heart lives. So, and I'm aware of where I'm speaking from, right? Like, if you're reading this, you're not from Binghamton, you're not going to be any the wiser. But again, this is where I'm from. This is who I am. So it would have been great in my head if they just listed Lupus or Salamitas. But
I think that's a fair critique, because generally for any of these food specific topics we do, there's usually an article in the New York Times about it from the last decade at least, and it's usually from the perspective of a New York City journalist who didn't grow up in upstate but loves upstate things, to be clear.
Yep.
And they're writing about it as like, hey, this is this delightful thing that exists. So they're not necessarily, it's not necessarily someone who grew up with it. And like even the article we quoted in the Atlantic about salt potatoes, that is 100% the perspective. And like that's how they start it. Like, I'm not from Syracuse. I've never been to Syracuse, but salt potatoes are delightful. Let me tell you more about them. That's kind of the angle. So I think it's fair to say when it comes to the actual recipe, they're not always getting it 100%.
Right.
For sure.
And I mean, I'll go down to the office. I'll talk to him about it. I have no problem. I have no problem escalating this.
Sure.
I trust and believe that. Now, back to the rest of the recipe for salted potatoes. The cooking water contains salt in a ratio of 1 cup of salt to 6 cups of water, giving the dish its name, unique flavor, and texture. Other standard recipes focus the ratio on the potatoes, prescribing 1 pound of salt for every 4 pounds of potatoes. Don't fuck it up,
folks. That is so much. Like, it's so easy to oversalt something, right? Like, if you do a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon of salt,
that's
like,
a different recipe.
The whole dish is fucked, right? You're putting in a whole cup of salt. It's so much. It's so much fucking salt.
It's a lot. That's a lot. And your hypertension and your heart will not thank you. That's why, I mean, listen, in my older years, I can tell you that having salted potatoes is very judicious and done with scrutiny. Like, I'm not powerhouse in them like I was when I was a young Jim Jam. I promise you that.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
As my dentist, who's not a doctor, once said, I can't tell you how to live your life, man. So look, if I come across a salted potato, I'll have one just to reminisce. You know what I mean? Because they're fucking great. So after cooking, salt potatoes are served with melted butter. Yes, they are. The resulting potatoes are creamy as the starch in the potatoes cooks more completely due to the higher boiling temperature of the extra salty water. The salty skin stands up particularly well to both herbed and plain melted butter.
Jesus Christ. It sounds so good. Could you like throw a little rosemary in there? Would a little rosemary be
I suppose you could.
A welcome addition, or
I mean, I suppose you could. It's you know, if that is what your taste buds are calling for, I've never done it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But like, I don't think it would necessarily throw it off by any stretch.
Sure.
So go for it. Now, do it today, right now. Make that shit happen immediately. Now, what I'm about to get into right now, and again, this is courtesy of Rob's deep dives, which I got to give you credit for. You do pull some pretty wild shit when we get into
I'll say this was pulled because I typed in salt potatoes controversy. Again, I love to type in whatever our topic is in controversy. Nothing came up. Universally loved. No bones about it. Salt potatoes are here to stay. No controversy.
The Keefe family didn't like dissolve over the salted potatoes or anything like that.
This might be our most wholesome topic we've ever covered. Couldn't find anything. No one had a negative thing to say about salted potatoes. Even when I tried to stir up controversy at the start. I was like, what, salt potatoes versus salted? You very judiciously were like, both are cool, man. Both are cool. So
I mean,
yeah,
you're not going to find like a somebody who's going to not know what you're talking about. Like, they're not going to bring you out like a rack of lamb if you say salted potatoes. Like,
sure.
You're gonna get some potatoes boiled in salted water with a little bit of care. Now, again, what I'm about to read, the headline of this is fucking insane, right?
Yeah.
And it goes as such. This is from the World Salt Potato Eating Championship from Syracuse.com, and that title is this. Champion eater stuffs down 13 pounds to win World Salt Potato Eating Championship. That is horrifying.
That's so much salt.
That's so much salt. That's so much.
Holy shit,
that's
dude.
so much carbs. There's a lot happening in that. Just those approximate 10 words, right? That. Golly. And when I tell you who it is, folks, if you know pop culture, you're going to be like, obviously.
I think we may have talked about him on our Michigan Red Hot episode.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Also, for timeline's sake, this was published May 14th, 2011, 8:27 p.m. Baldwinsville, New York. Been through that town a few times. It took some last-second gouging and swallowing, but number one ranked professional eater, Joey Chestnut. That's right, folks. Joey Chestnut pulled ahead and won the Salt Potato Eating World Championships this afternoon at Paper Mill Island. God damn. Chestnut chowed down 13 pounds of Heinerweidel's famous salt potatoes, beating Mohawk coiffed Pat Bertoletti by 8 ounces.
Oh man, can you imagine? Can you imagine being second place?
Oh, I don't.
It was my 8 ounces.
That is dead last. I mean, first place is dead last in my fiery opinion. I knew I could beat him, Chestnut said of Bertoletti. It was just getting them. Hang on, let me take that over. It was just getting them in and getting them down. First place.
Wise words.
Yeah.
Wise words.
Wise words from a wise man. First place was $5,000. All right.
Okay.
Altogether, $10,000 in prize money was rewarded. 13 competitors, 12 men and 1 woman, shoved those tasty orbs of central New York summer into their mouths for 10 minutes straight.
Oh my God, 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes of continuous shoveling of potatoes.
And I would hazard to say, because again, I hosted a pizza eating contest, and like I'm sure there's like glasses of water to help it go down.
Yeah,
and just,
there
like,
has to be.
There's got to be.
You would die of thirst. All this salt? Are you gotta be kidding me?
I'd love to see the blood pressure like half hour after this.
Oh Christ.
They were all given containers of spring water to wash them down, but the heavy hitting professional eaters brought along their own stashes of drink. Of course they did.
That sounds suspect.
Bertoletti,
regulation.
Yeah, standard issue. Bertoletti had some red concoction that was spraying out of his mouth as he tried to drink and swallow mashed up potatoes at the same time.
Oh my God. I was telling you beforehand, there's pictures in this article, and holy shit, like I've been to Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Actually, the year this article was written, in 2011, just a couple months later, I saw Joey Chestnut himself down at Coney Island. I was even on ESPN. I was wearing an electric blue shirt, and you could see me. There's a little picture of me like in the crowd. It's great. Anyway, like that, watching the hot dog eating contest is disgusting. I think any food eating contest I've ever seen. Also seen a dumpling eating contest over on Atlantic a couple summers ago. It's gross, right? It's gross. The pictures of this are a new level of gross. And whoever wrote this article about red spewing concoctions really nailed it, I think. Like, it looks fucking disgusting.
Yeah, this shit is muy disgusting. The only woman in the field, 100-pound Juliette Lee, poured cups of hot coffee she had brought in shiny, colorful, insulated containers. These guys I don't think you love yourself. I don't think you care about yourself very much if this is where it is, right?
God. I hope it was decaffeinated at least. What the fuck? That's terrible.
It's fucking wild. Wild Bill Myers opened a black knapsack and took out bottles of red beverage, yellow beverage, and brown beverage and placed them before him on the table. He also had a plastic squeeze bottle of cheddar sauce and a bottle of ranch dressing.
What a lunatic.
Golly. He's living up to wild, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The potatoes were great, he said. The hardest part was getting them down. I was cooking them different at home, so all that practice really didn't help me.
Oh, brutal.
Brian Van Alstyne, 28, of Syracuse, was coaxed into a contest by friend Pete DeKekos. We'll assume that's what it is. I don't know if he's your friend. I'm going to be honest with you.
I was just going to say.
Brian, I don't know if Pete's your friend.
Friends coax friends to go to Serling Fest. I don't think they coax friends to enter any eating contest.
No, that's not how this works. Of Boston, who placed 5th in the potato eating contest and ranks 15th on the Major League Eating Professional list. Well, that's nice. Wow. At times, Chestnut looked like he was in pain. What? Really? Jumping up and down wildly as he gulped and swallowed more potatoes. I ate 1.5 pounds, he said, smiling with a bit of smashed potato still visible on his face. And what does he think of the other guys who ate 12 and 13 pounds of spuds? They're lunatics, he said. Well, that is the pot calling the kettle.
Yeah.
The salt potato eating contest was the kickoff of Wild Carp Week, a full week of carp fishing tournaments in the Seneca River beginning Sunday through May 21st.
All right.
So, nice little plug for Wild Carp Week, which also are garbage eaters, so I guess it makes sense that they would plug that at the end of this. Makes sense to me. And folks, that is the Understanding Upstate take on the world of salted potatoes.
Mm-hmm. And as far as I know, just as a aside, I think that was maybe the last documented World Salt Potato Eating Championship. Haven't seen any other mention past 2011. So,
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, look, no good comes of like any competitive eating contest per se, right? But like this one, I don't know. I feel like this one hits real different because it's like you're dealing with just like unbelievable amounts of salt. Like, I don't know how you see the other side of this in any capacity, but
indeed,
golly.
Indeed. Woo. Well, you were speaking about plugs for Wild Carp Week, but I think we got some more enticing things to plug this week.
Yeah. And I would argue healthier.
Sure.
I'm not like a health nut by any stretch, but like I definitely won't want y'all to enter any. I'm going to be a real friend and coax you out of entering a competitive eating contest here.
Yeah.
So, folks, here it is. Check this out. Here's the deal. Let's say you attended one of these competitive eating contests, right? Perhaps even a salted potato one, and you were just so you're broken, right? You watch it and your soul is shattered because you're like, this is how far we've come and this is where we are, right? And you're like, what could I listen to lift my spirits? Well, my friends, if you go pick up Upstate Understandings, my comedy album, that's going to turn it around for you. produced by Rob Adler. It is a tour de force through comedy. You're going to love it. It's great. Go to jimsearch.bandcamp.com to pick it up. You can also download it on all digital streaming platforms, but if you want to get a physical copy and have one forever, jimsearch.bandcamp.com is the way of going about that. If you also want to find me, you can go to jimsearchcomedy.com for all that fun stuff, jokes and things like that. Also, as I've talked about at the top of the show, I am going to be headlining one night of the Crooked Mouth Comedy Festival, September 21st, over at Crooked Mouth Brewery in Endicott, New York. You can tell I'm from upstate because that is how you say it when you're around those parts. Get over there, pick up tickets. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a great time. Stephen Brown is going to be hosting, my good homie up there. It's going to be a great time. Pull up for my show, pull up for all 3 nights. It's going to be a blast. And go do it. Rob, they have listened to my album. They bought tickets at Crooked Mouth Comedy Fest, but yet they still have more money. I don't know how they became flush with cash. That's up to them. But
they may have won a potato eating contest. $5K, right? You can do a lot of purchasing with $5,000.
Yeah, that money can go a long way. They have some money left over. Do you have any suggestions as to what they could do?
I do, and in fact, your money is going to be going a long way, and let's also say you're going a long way because you have $5,000, but you're good with money. You're going to take the short line bus to Sterling Fest, right? You just boarded the short line bus at Port Authority. You got a few hours ahead of you through beautiful upstate New York as you travel to Binghamton to see the Rod Serling statue unveiled. First thing you do is listen to Upstate Understandings. Then you're going to listen to my album, New York Sticky, available at brokenfrequency.bandcamp.com. Pick that up. It's gonna whisk you away to a beautiful evening or a beautiful weekend in Binghamton. Also, check out our documentary that we made, which is a behind-the-scenes look at the making of that album. There's a link in the description. Also, this is a new plug. I directed and edited another comedy album that's coming out on... It just came out yesterday, if you're listening to this the day it drops. It's called Husky Boy by comedian Chris Calogero. I'll throw a link in the description as well for that. There's a special and an album that just came out yesterday, so go check those out. Again, directed and edited by yours truly.
Great comedian, great guy. So go run that up. Yeah, good dude.
Yeah, and funny. Again,
funny.
Similar with your album. I've listened to this album I don't know how many times. I listened to it twice yesterday as we were putting on the final editing notes, and I was still laughing at stuff. So it's both great albums. Go get yourself some comedy.
Yes.
All right. Well, what are we going to go get ourselves next week in terms of a topic?
Well, my friends, I'll tell you this. Be sure next week to light up because we have something in store for you to chomp on. That's for sure.
I like it. I like it. I don't like my closing transition, but this is what we got. This is what we got. Are you ready for a stupid up pun? Well, Jim, I gotta boil up some salt potatoes. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in that was bad? I agree.
Bye. Understanding Upstate is a podcast hosted by Jim Search and Rob Adler, edited by Rob Adler, and music from Regal Monk.